Your own guy sucks. He's barely alive. You've lost your fight, haven't you? Biden has removed the fight from Democrats.
All right, y'all. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever you're tuning in. I'm grateful to have you here. And we got a doozy today because you're about to see a commitment to stupidity like never before. These two highly delusional liberal Democrats got destroyed on Piers Morgan's show. Honestly, I don't know where they find these people. A grown man that voluntarily chooses to go by destiny and an absolutely clueless woman named Francesca. Compared to the conservatives, Michael Knowles and Tommy Lahren, both highly intelligent and successful intellectuals. But I want you to pay real close attention and notice the difference in attitudes between the opposing sides. On one hand, you get logical points and folks having fun darn near the entire time, including Piers Morgan, while on the other side, you get nothing but whining, lying, and excuse making. And I just thought this whole exchange was hilarious, but y'all let me know what you think in the comments section. Let's get it poppin'.
This is going to be the greatest period to be a Donald Trump in a presidential race ever, because he just has to keep allowing his opponent to do stupid things and say dumb stuff and look exhausted and lose his train of thought. That's all he has to do.
Right, and I'd also like to make the point, and I know that the liberals on this panel are going to have a collective hemorrhoid when I say it, but even if former President Donald Trump wasn't standing next to a vegetable last Thursday, he still would have performed excellently, and he did. He got his points across. He was able to finesse some of the issues like abortion in a way that I've always been concerned about, but I think he did a great job. So I also want to point that out. But as I've said, I don't think they're going to keep with Joe Biden. I know that all the Democrats say, well, they have to because of this and that. Logistically, they have to keep with him. You can't keep along with somebody who in the next several months is going to go downhill even more steeply. This is not going to be a linear decline. It is going to accelerate. Anybody who's watched an elderly person decline this way knows it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And I think there needs to be more of a discussion about just how evil First Lady Jill Biden is, that she is standing by as her husband is going through this. This is truly evil. Why she's not pulling him aside and saying enough's enough just shows that she is so hungry for power, she's willing to embarrass and let her husband embarrass himself that way. Shame on her.
Yeah, Francesca, I got to say, I agree with that. I think I've interviewed Dr. Biden about 10 years ago now, and I've watched him the last couple of days, and I'm seeing somebody who seems even more desperate not to give this up than Joe Biden is. And surely any spouse in that position, forget politics for a moment, who sees their other half humiliated on a global stage like that in the way that it went down, surely the humane thing to do is to persuade that person it's over, isn't it?
Sure, but also Nancy Reagan apparently was running the show for the last few years of that administration, so you never know. Tommy might be right on this. Look, here's the thing. I'm just jealous of Republicans. Like, you guys are just so loyal, you know? I mean, MAGA is a cult of peaked-in high school conspiracy theorists who want tax breaks and a mass deportation of migrants, and they won't abandon Trump no matter what, and you just gotta admire that kind of loyalty.
Hang on. Do you know who the biggest deporter of migrants was in US presidential history?
Yeah, it was the guy who's not running for president.
Did you know who it was?
It was Barack Obama.
Yes, it was. A Democrat.
Yeah.
3 million.
And I hate the Democratic policy.
3 million migrants he sent packing. He was the deporter-in-chief. Donald Trump, by comparison to Obama, wasn't even at the races when it came to deportations.
I just wish Democrats had Republican conviction. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we have a wet noodle as a candidate, and Republicans are like, yeah, he sexually abused E. Jean Carroll and he tried to overturn an election that he rightfully lost. And he's got 2 impeachments. Well, we love this guy. Let's effing go. And I just wish we had that kind of commitment.
Did you like Bill Clinton as a president?
No, not really. I did not believe in deregulation and like the 94 NAFTA bill.
What did you think of the fact he paid Paula Jones $850,000 to make a sexual harassment case go away? Or what did you think of him having sex with a young... What did you think of having sex with a young intern
I don't know why you're...
in the Oval Office?
Piers, look, we all know you want Celebrity Apprentice. We all know that Trump calls you. But like, how much?
I've had quite a frosty time with Trump in the last year and a half. So I wouldn't overstate our our
But he
current
still calls you.
relationship.
But you always talk about how he calls you. You're like, I'm a liberal. But
No, but hey, I'm not a Republican. I'm not a conservative. Never have been. I ran a left-wing newspaper in Britain for 10 years, right? I would call myself a centrist, actually. I'm a journalist who likes to go after both sides, hold both sides to account. But right now, the problem that the Democrats have is no one cares about Trump. And this is a guy with 91 criminal charges against him, right? But no one's talking about it. They're all talking about whether the guy currently in the White House can even know what day it is. That's the problem.
A lot of people would vote for a corpse over Donald Trump. That
they may have
actually
to.
says more
They may
about
have
Donald
to.
Trump than it does about Joe Biden. Let's go.
All right. Michael Knowles, apparently people will vote for a corpse over Donald Trump.
They will, and please let them do it. Let the partisan Democrats do it. I'm now all in on the Democratic rhetoric. The Democratic primary voters have made their decision. They want Joe Biden as their nominee. It would be an assault on the integrity of this country and on our sacred democracy if they replace him now. I can't wait to see him in all 50 states. At this point, obviously, the man is not up to the job. So someone else is running the country, whether that's Jill, whether it's Ron Klain, whether it's, I don't know, whether it's Barack Obama.
Do you know what's really
behind,
interesting, Michael? This is really interesting to me, this panel, because if we'd gone back, 3 months, you'd have all been shouting at each other, arguing about Trump. The two siding to the Democrat side here on the panel, you've been neutered by what's happened. I can feel that the luster has gone. The enthusiasm to beat up conservatives has just flown out of your bodies. I mean, there's not been one argument. You've all just sat there going, we agree, he sucks. Your own guy sucks. He's barely alive. You've lost your fight, haven't you? Biden has removed the fight from Democrats. That's what I'm seeing here.
Not.
Absolutely. Actually, I agree with that.
You agree?
I totally disagree. No, if Donald Trump is taking insane, again, the Supreme Court ruling today is unbelievable. The idea that instead on today's show, we're going to focus on whether or not Biden had a bad debate performance is just reflective of the I don't want to say agenda in a negative way, but of what you want to talk about today on this program. Like, I think that the decisions that are being made right now legislatively in the Supreme Court are more important, or that are being made in the Supreme Court are more important
that's happening?
than whether or not Biden has a bad.
You know why it's happening? Because Trump was able to put 3 judges on the court in one term. You know why that was? Because you put up a terrible candidate, Hillary Clinton, who was incredibly polarizing, very arrogant, very superior, and she got flatlined by Trump when no one saw it coming on the Democrat side.
And
secondly,
lost one.
some of your Democrat judges who should have known better decided they weren't going to resign. They weren't going to retire. And because of that, Trump was able to pack that court. So I'm afraid you reap what you sow. Just very bad politics by the Democrats.
One of those Supreme Court justices were literally lost by McConnell just robbing a president of the right to seat a judge. Nobody remembers that Garland was supposed to be on the Supreme Court for almost a full year. McConnell said, we're not going to have that hearing. That is indefensible.
Let me bring in Michael here.
Oh, my God.
Tommy has to leave in a moment. So Michael, come to you, then come back to Tommy for a final wrap from her. But Michael.
Destiny, the principle that you're articulating that a president should be able to put a judge on the court in an election year, or rather that you say Mitch McConnell violated, was a rule first articulated by Joe Biden in the 90s when he was trying to kill George Bush's judges. So obviously there was a decision today. It said that the president has some immunity for criminal acts or acts committed in his official capacity as president. And this is based on a 40-year precedent. And so it really goes all the way back to the Marshall Court. Really nothing should be surprising about this. And yes, the Democrats are upset. They're
not
inveighing.
true. That this is
just
based
let me
on
finish
precedent.
1 second, Destiny. They're inveighing because they say we should be talking about the immunity case. Well, but part of the articulation of I just was reading the decision was that, look, this is the first time that you've got a president who's being prosecuted in this way. And that's the problem, because the vast majority of Americans, right, left, and center, have been saying in survey after survey that they view the prosecutions of Trump as primarily politically motivated. They view this as kind of corrupt. And that's one of the reasons why Biden's poll numbers have been so bad for so long. And so they throw this Hail Mary to do a debate in June before either party has settled on a nominee, and it completely blew up in their face. And so no wonder people want to talk about it. You've got a political order that is fraying. You got a guy trying to put his opponent into an orange jumpsuit, and it turns out the guy who's trying trying to do that, it has applesauce for brains. No
and you
wonder
know what?
people
You
are
know what?
concerned.
The American people, a bit like the British, I think would be the same in this position. They can smell a political hit job. And the fact that the first case that was used against Trump to try and convict him and put him in prison involved a payoff to a porn star 20 years ago for a supposed one-night stand, or whether it happened or not, that just smelt to them like a massive overreach. Whether he did it or not, they didn't care. And so the idea that the first American president in history to ever be convicted of a crime in a criminal court is convicted over something so pathetic and trivial. The American people, the right-minded, reasonable people who are not in the kind of mad tribal ends of their parties, all went, well, that's ridiculous. And actually demeaning to the country. Tommy, I know you got to go. So final thoughts from you before we let you go, and then we'll carry on with with Francesca as the rose between two thorns afterwards.
For me.
But Tommy, your summary of where we are with this. What do you think is going to happen?
Yes.
Give me a roadmap to the election day.
Listen, I think they got to replace Joe. I don't know if it happens at the convention. I don't know if it happens after the convention. If they use that mechanism and the DNC has to get together and pull some strings, I would remind folks that don't think it can be done. Let's remember that the Democrats were able to overhaul our election system due to COVID in 2020 in a matter of months and nationalize mass mail-in voting. So I never underestimate a Democrat, though I will say in sitting with this panel today, it's easy to see how sad the Democrats are, the liberals are. It's easy to watch them crumble because their candidate quite literally is crumbling before our very eyes. It's a great day to be a Republican. It's not a great day to be a liberal, but I hope you guys stick with Joe, and best of luck to you.
Tommy Lahren, always great to have you on Uncensored. Thank you very much indeed. I appreciate it.
Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already, ring the notification bell so you get notified anytime I post a new video. If you like what I'm doing over here and you want to show a little extra love and support, make sure you go check out our website down below in the description section. That way you can get all the awesome shirts that you see me wearing in every single video. They're all made by my smoking hot wife with tons of different designs to choose from. Sizes ranges from itty bitty extra small to big and hefty 5X. I'm sure we got something that you'd like, or a great gift for someone that you love. Outside of that, you can always join the Gibson family here on YouTube and become a member by clicking that join button. You can buy me a coffee. You can join the Patreon family. All those links are down below as well. By no means do you have to do any of that. Just showing up and watching my freckle face on your screens for a few minutes, I'm greatly appreciative. I love y'all, and I can't thank you enough for rocking with me throughout the years. Until next time, I'll be praying for you. Godspeed. I'm gone.